let's talk the Acer Spin 714. So we did a video of this device. Or the folks at Acer were kind enough to send one over for us. And this is kind of a style of video that we might do if we were at the event. It's a hands-on impression style video. Hopefully, maybe we'll get to go to some events before too long. But
I don't know why, but the one that sticks out in my head the most, the one at the Lincoln Center was cool. But the Navy Yard, when we were up on that.
So cool.
It's not really a balcony. It's more of we were up on that upper level, and Joe was shooting shots of it on the finished concrete floor. And I don't know. It was just cool.
Yeah.
Looking down and seeing the CEO of Acer just walking through the crowd with his suitcase because he's leaving. I'm like,
he's
weird.
like, I delivered the keynote and
I'm
leaving.
out.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I'm looking forward to those two, and hopefully, with Google not having full attendance at I/O, but it looked like half maybe, or maybe a third regular attendance. Maybe that starts to open the door up, because I don't feel like anybody was like outraged or upset, and we haven't had a huge COVID outbreak or anything. No, like there's been no negative.
Yeah, and it
press
wasn't
around
like
it.
Mandatory masks. You saw a few people in the crowd with masks on, but it was.
But they weren't.
Down front, it was shoulder to shoulder. I mean, there was quite a few people there. So
So it's like hopefully that
Outdoor venue, which is nice.
then maybe that is part of what helps that. But hopefully that means slowly but surely these companies are coming around to the idea of like, okay, maybe we can have these in-person events again.
Right.
But for us, for this, it was cool that Acer sent over the 714, and we had the option of it or the 514 that they debuted in that the AMD announcement that happened. So there was the HP Chromebook and then Acer's Chromebook that have the new AMD Ryzen 5000. But as our Acer rep pointed out, kind of already had hands-on with one of those chips, so maybe you'd be interested in the Alder Lake chip instead. And I was like, you are correct.
Yeah, and no knock against the Ryzen. It's going to be a formidable chip, but we wanted the latest and the greatest. Yeah. And this is going to be a wildly popular device.
It is. I mean, you're talking like a successor basically to the 713. And I'm not saying that they won't make a 713. They could, but it would be weird next to this.
It feels like the shift is going to this screen ratio. It really
because the new Flex is that same thing. It's a 14-inch. Yeah, Flex is a 14-inch, 16 by 10. Yep. Usually what that means is a bunch of those panels probably are around for manufacturing, and they're like, cool, this works, so let's build the chassis of the device around that panel instead.
Because this was kind of standard at one point in the time, wasn't it? It was
16 by
back
10,
in the day? Or?
The only devices I know that use 16 by 10 were Macs.
Okay.
It was either 16 by 9, and then there were a handful of 3 by 2s. 4 by 3 was the old standard.
There we go.
Which is even more square. 4 by 3 is getting real close to square. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good mix. Like a 14-inch 16 by 9 Chromebook still feels pretty decent. Like it doesn't feel like it's super cramped, but just there's something about adding that by 10, that slight bit of height to the screen really does make it feel better. It feels better as in tablet mode. It's just a good overall size and aspect ratio. And I think, some people have already commented on it. Like I love 16 by 10 because 3 by 2 feels a little too tall for a laptop. Yeah. And, and I get that. Like 3 by 2 is great for tablets and it's good. I like it for laptops. I do. But I feel like I get the same benefit from a 16 by 10. And once you move it out to a 14-inch device, 16 by 10, it's a large amount of real estate you have to work with. And, all the normal Acer stuff's here. I mean, when you look at this device and pick it up and feel it, it's like, yeah, I mean, is it the 514 or 7? It was 514 from last year that was an AMD device. I liked it. Like that Spin 514, I remember liking the build quality. It felt a little bit more sturdy than the 713 ever did. And then the last year's 713 that came out, I was like, okay, they're moving more in that direction. It's a little more firm, less kind of clacky and Frankenstein feeling. And this goes another step past that. Like it's all metal on the top. The base is metal. The keyboard area is the same plastic they've been using, but the whole thing is really, really rigid and firm, and it feels quality. It's got a one-finger lift, even with the 360 hinge. It's got a full HD camera, which is kind of now the trend, thank God. They're moving away from 720.
Standard fare for the key. I know this is pre-production, but think it's better than the 713, or is it about the same key frame? Again, these are pre-production, so we don't know.
Tough,
it might come
right.
out and be different. But
I think it's a little better
Yeah.
than the 713. Now has always felt like a little bit loose.
Little
like
clacky.
the keys
Yep.
kind of wobble around a little bit too much. Oh, it's the Acer, the MediaTek one that we have that I'm like, I don't
that's
love
right,
this
yeah.
keyboard, but it's good. It feels like that keyframe. The trackpad.
I like what Lenovo's doing. I wish they'd do that on their Flex, because the Flex doesn't have the smile keys, does it?
No.
I don't think it does.
Maybe the new one does. I think
So
the
new C14 does, but I'm like, I love those keys. I wish they'd do that on all their devices.
Smile keys.
So they're concave, but then they're kind of
top of them
U-shaped
are
at the
U-shaped
bottom,
too.
so they just kind of cradle your fingers when you turn.
Yeah.
Because you know,
Little finger cradle.
Yeah, they hold the thunder paws.
Yeah.
Hold them in
Yeah,
check.
for Thunder Paws over here, he
Hold them in
needs.
check.
He needs.
I gotta have some. It's like Dr. Scholl's for my fingers.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's, I mean, the ThinkPad's keyboards are always excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's not going to like win any awards for the best keyboard, but it doesn't feel like a detractor.
Right.
It's backlit. The speakers are up top now, so above the keyboard, and those are usually one of the last things that get tuned on a Chromebook before it ships out. And these already sound really good, so they're probably only going to get a little bit better. They're a little mid-heavy, which if you're going to air on a Chromebook on your speakers, that's where you want to air, because
Sure.
that's where spoken word comes out. So, you want it to be good for phone calls and stuff. But so yeah, 1080p cam up top with a privacy shade, upward firing speakers that sound really nice, good backlit keyboard, nice smooth clicky glass trackpad. It's just a little small because now you're going from 3x2 to 16x10. You're cramming the speakers up top as well, so you just keep running out of vertical space. And so it's not small. It's not like it's a baby little trackpad, but compared
We've
to
gotten
some of the
really
ones,
used to Acer's trackpads
they've
being
been huge, like
Yeah.
these big squares. It's not that large, but in the time I was using it, it wasn't so small that it bothered me. There have been some before that got too tiny. Port selection's good. USB-C on each side, USB-A, headphones.
Are they going to give
full size HDMI?
a fingerprint option at all? No, and I'm not complaining. I used to dig on them for that because I really felt like, well, premium devices should just have that. But the more and more I listen to readers and people that talk, I love having it on the CX9. But until until 2FA becomes a little bit more standard and all that stuff, I don't think it's a selling point. I'd rather
only
them
to unlock your Chromebook. Like that's the only thing.
I'd rather see them. Yeah, because I mean, I have a 2FA key in my laptop bag. But if you could use it for 2FA and stuff like that, then totally. But just for unlocking your Chromebook, yeah, I would rather them trim $50 or $80 off the price and not put it on there.